The Bassett Creek Watershed Management Commission's 51 years of success depends on its 9 member cities, its many partners, and its residents. 2 of our member cities, Minnetonka and Minneapolis, are involved with a volunteer program called Wetland Health Evaluation Program, or WEP for short. They have participated in this program for over 20 years. WEP focuses on assessing the conditions of our wetlands. But before I get into the details of the program, your first question might be, what is a wetland? Or why do the health of wetlands matter? As you might guess, a wetland describes those lands that are between aquatic and terrestrial environments. They come by many different names, such as swamps, peatlands, sloughs, marshes, bogs, fens. And as to why they're important, there's actually many reasons. In short, wetlands are an essential component to a healthy environment, and a healthy environment is critical for human health. Until about 50 years ago, wetlands weren't appreciated too much. It was pretty much the status quo to fill them in so they could be built upon. But our view of wetlands has changed. According to the National Resources Conservation Services, wetlands are among the most productive ecosystems in the world. They provide diverse habitats and support complex food chains. Let's take a closer look at wetlands. You might be surprised by all the services that they provide. In this next part, I will compare wetlands to a filter, a sponge, this cart of food, this house, this bed, and this mother and child. Let's find out how. Wetlands are like filters because they absorb pollutants and help keep water clean. This sponge symbolizes how wetlands absorb tons of gallons of water and they prevent flooding. We often don't know how valuable a wetland was until it is gone and we have to deal with the flooding. And since wetlands absorb water, they help recharge groundwater, otherwise known as drinking water, for about 70% of Minnesotans. Wetland plants also provide food for an enormous number of insects, amphibians, mammals, and birds. It's estimated that at least 900 land animals forage in wetlands. This house reminds us how wetlands serve as shelter to many animals. At least 150 bird species and 200 fish species are wetland dependent. And this bed is a metaphor that wetlands provide resting and nesting places for so many species. This mother and child icon symbolizes how wetlands serve as nurseries for these amphibians, mammals, and birds. Finally, this money shows us how wetlands save us billions of dollars by providing water cleaning, water storage, and flood prevention services for free. It's hard to even put a price tag on what clean water is worth. So now that we know why it's important to keep track of how our wetlands are doing, let's get back to WEP. WEP volunteers identify and quantify aquatic macroinvertebrates, or basically water bugs, to assess the ecological health of the wetlands. In addition to examining the critters, WEP volunteers also record the vegetation. The team working near Minneapolis's Worth Lake discovered a large area of our carnivorous plant last summer called bladderwort, which is highly unusual in urban areas. Since some macroinvertebrates and plants are more tolerant of poor water quality than others, we can get a picture of the overall health by seeing which species are flourishing. We are so grateful for the 120 WEP volunteers who provide thousands of combined service hours. Thank you so much for your hard work. If you'd like to volunteer, contact us. We'd love to work with you.